This is an international podcast transmission. Is anyone out there? If you're listening, you've reached the No Fixed Agenda podcast.
It's only been white girls, bro. That's it.
Keeping it. You're trying to make sure nothing happens below the belt. What's going on?
Yeah, no, this is not a Asian massage place to be exact, bro. So there's definitely no funny business happening.
Okay. Fair enough.
But yeah, she worked on my shit, dude. It fucking feels great, man. Yeah, I think you need to go for your back, bro.
Maybe as we had talked about, I've probably had a handful of massages, maybe 2 handfuls of massages in my lifetime. I'm not a big massage person.
But this isn't a chiropractic office.
Oh, I know.
So there's a receptionist. There's no funny business. She's very professional. I highly recommend her. She's trying to get into the sports world, bro. She wants to do more sports massage type stuff.
Oh, okay.
So she's testing that shit on me. Not that I'm much of an athlete, but
don't sell yourself short. Just because you are short doesn't mean you have to sell yourself short. Ooh.
I am shrinking. That has been tested and approved, man. I was once 5'11 and a half, and now I am 5'9 and a half, bro.
Wow.
So that is terrible, but yeah. Anyways.
So if you've been listening in the last month or so, we've been on kind of a wellness kick, and that's fine. We've been connected with a lot of really great wellness professionals, and so we've kind of steered the conversations in a wellness format here. So bear with us. We've only got a couple more wellness episodes to do. What we figured would probably be funny for everybody to hear is the experiences that we've had over the last couple weeks.
Well,
I'm not talking about the conversations, because that I could go into a pretty good conversation there. But in this whole entire grand scheme of things, I actually had my colonoscopy scheduled in the middle of all of our wellness conversations, and then I'm
going to interrupt you and tell you I'm very proud that you got that done, my good sir.
Man, I appreciate that. Yeah. So I had that done. You've had the hydrocolonic stuff.
Colon hydrotherapy.
Yeah, colon.
That is the technical term, buddy.
Okay. So
we both had stuff up our butts recently. So
we're talking about yes, and not in the fun way. Well, maybe. I don't know. I'm only speaking for myself. You, on the other hand, maybe you're into that stuff. I don't know. I'm not. But talking from a colonoscopy side of things,
that's not a wellness conversation. That is a medical procedure for
and sure. I will go ahead and state this right now. I implore people to go out and get a colonoscopy and go get that checked out. It is huge. My family has a history of colon cancer and stuff, so I felt it was very important for me to go get it taken a look at.
Yeah.
But I definitely tell people, you need to go get it done. Now that I've done it, I kind of understand it a little bit more. What I thought, and you and I have had this conversation, what I thought was probably the worst is the prep.
I try warning you, bro.
But let me tell you, everything you said happened
spot on.
Exactly the way it happened. And I say that because, so I go in, I get ready to do this prep. I'm, working out with Omar the day before, 2 days before. And I was like, yeah, dude, I gotta start my prep. And he's like, okay, this is the way it's going to go. And if you haven't had it done, they give you this 4-liter bottle.
Well, first of all, you're fasted. You got to be fasted.
Well, you got to be fasted, right?
Yes.
So you don't eat anything all day.
All day.
And then when it gets to 5 p.m., 6 p.m., at least from what they told me, and it was fully fine, it worked out great, but they give you this 4-liter jug
of white solution.
It's like this got this white solution at the bottom of it. You put water in it, you let it sit overnight, so then it's nice and cold when you get started. And at first, I was like, all right, you take a drink. They give you this little tiny little lemon flavor packet. I even told Des.
That's what I was going to ask you. What'd you think about the taste, bro?
Yeah. So they give me this little lemon thing, and I looked at Des, and I was like, so there's 4 liters of water here. And they give me this little packet that's no bigger than not even
sugar, like a sugar packet.
Yeah,
almost.
a sugar packet. And I'm like, how the fuck is this going to even like? So I will say that the lemon flavor kind of helped out a little bit. And when I got started, it seemed to be totally fine. It doesn't have the best taste, but it was something that was like, all right, well, this isn't that bad.
I'm not the type of guy. I guess that's my addictive behaviors, dude. I don't drink shit for taste. Like, what's the fucking result? What am I trying to get? Like, if I'm going to drink something, either it's because I'm hydrated, it could taste like shit, but I'm hydrated. Like, if it's to prep for colonoscopy, then that's what it is, right?
True. So,
but whatever.
Yeah, it was. At first, it was okay. Mm-hmm. And you're supposed to take this thing every 10 to 15 minutes. 8 ounces, 8-ounce glass of water every 15 minutes. So you go in, and I got into the first, I don't know, 4 or 5 glasses, and I was like, all right, this isn't bad. And as you had told me, he's like, you're gonna go through this, and you're expecting everything to just happen all at once.
I'm so fucking laughing because
and
the build-up, you guys are hearing the build-up.
This is the build-up. This is the build-up. And I have to put this build-up in because what I'm about to tell you needs to be heard. So
don't scare people from getting it done, all right?
So as you had told me, you told me like you're gonna go for like the first hour or so, and you're going to feel like nothing's happening. Like it's kind of a waste.
Yeah.
And so I sat there and I was like, yeah, you're right. Maybe I haven't drank enough. Maybe I need to be drinking even more. And then I was like, no. Omar said, and even the pharmacist was like, it's going to take about an hour for it to like really kick in. And then all of a sudden, about an hour and 15 minutes in, I get about halfway through, and the next thing you know, my stomach is just
it starts talking to you, dude.
It starts talking, and by this point in time, Des has gotten home.
Okay,
and
so she was there for the aftermath.
Yeah, she's looking at me. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like touching my stomach. I'm like, "Oh God, yeah, I'm starting to feel it." It takes about another 30 minutes, right? So I'm an hour and a half deep into this thing. Yeah. I'm already almost done with a lot of the solution, more than halfway done, and all of a sudden. It's running to the bathroom time. Like, it thing is going. Now, the first couple times, and I'm gonna just lay this out here. The first couple times, it's okay. It's like a normal, like, oh, I ate something bad.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever.
Like you had some bad Chinese food.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
It's a bad Chinese food. Bringing it back to the Chinese conversation. So it's like you have bad Chinese food, and then about 3 hours deep, it's like a faucet. And not like just like
it's
running.
like an angry faucet.
It's like an angry. It's like you slap the faucet on and just let it run, and all of a sudden that's what it is.
But it's like one of those faucets with like a spigot on there with like a pressurized spigot.
Yeah,
sounds like a pissed off cat.
Yeah, exactly. And that you deal with that for like the next 2 hours. It's to me, I was sitting on you sit on the toilet for it only takes like 3 minutes or not even to like get everything out in that session. And I'm like, how much more is left? Like, you don't understand how much like shit just runs through your intestines. It's unbelievable.
You know that penny you swallowed when you were 5, bro?
Yeah. It was coming out. It was coming out. So So you make it through, and what I was worried about, I was worried about taking shits all night long. Luckily, I didn't. I was kind of surprised. Like I slept through the night.
You're done.
Now, granted, when I woke up,
it was time.
I was like, because I had to wake up at my appointment was at 10, so I had to wake up at 6 and drink the rest of it, or as much as you possibly can. Right? There's only like I factored it in. There was only like 6 glasses left when it was all said and done. I think I drank 3 of them, and I was like, I can't do it anymore. I got to a point where I was like, I cannot physically drink this shit anymore, regardless of how.
What, you just feel like you're gonna vomit or what?
Yeah, I felt like I was just like it would go back to taste. It was like I could now taste everything, and it was just such a hard taste to like swallow down. So Des was like, you don't have to finish every little like.
No, you don't.
It's the pharmacist even said it to her. She's like, it'd be amazing if people can get through the entire thing.
Yeah, I've gotten three colonoscopies, and I've never finished them. Never. Ever finished them.
Yeah.
I usually have like 2 or 3 glasses left.
Yeah, and I don't know who would be able to. Like, I drank 3 glasses in the morning. I turned the faucet back on, and Des was like, she heard it from the bedroom. She's like, oh my God. Like, that's. You weren't joking. It's the faucet. Like, yeah, she actually heard it, and she's like,
was the fucking shower on?
Yeah.
No, that was my ass.
Yeah. And it's a funny feeling to have just
like
water just
flowing out of you.
spritzing out all over. It's like I could have given somebody a shower. It's like
no, nobody wants that shower.
Nobody
bro.
wants that.
Nobody wants that kind of shower, bro.
Nobody wants that. Anyway,
but I said so. I'm gonna rewind it a little bit. So I told him you sent me a text of the waterfall, and I was just laughing, dude. I was dying.
Yeah,
bro.
you were in Monterey at that point.
I was in Monterey, just dying, dude. And so and then I freaking Googled the Dumb and Dumber poop scene, and I sent it to him.
That is the epitome of what somebody who's doing prep looks like.
100%.
Like, honestly, I almost feel, after going through it, I almost feel like they gave Jeff Daniels the prep stuff when he was doing that movie to make it like more realistic for him. So anyway, so I think that was the worst part. And then you go in, and they got me in real quick. I was in and out of it in 30 minutes.
For the colonoscopy?
Yeah.
Were you out or were you awake?
So it was in that twilight.
Oh, you were in the twilight.
I was in twilight.
You wanted to lock eyes with the doctor, huh?
Well,
you want to have a conversation?
So it's kind of weird. Like, they're like, well, you'll be in twilight, so you'll be awake, but you'll kind of not really know what's going on.
Yeah.
And some people just completely fall asleep. Some people try and make conversation during it, right? And so I was like, all right, well, whatever. So just give me the twilight stuff then, whatever. So
the twilight.
So they position you, on
your side,
on the side, and everything else. They get you going, and they put the stuff into you. I don't. Luckily, so I've also had the camera shoved up my pee hole, which.
That's painful.
Which that in itself, you're awake for that.
Yeah.
So you can actually see the camera going in. which is fucking distraught.
Just traumatizing.
That's traumatic. So then I was like, the last thing I remember was telling them that story.
Yeah.
Is, hey, I remember a camera going up my pee hole.
Dude.
I don't really want to see a camera going up my asshole. And I
can't.
And so apparently I kept trying to talk, and I don't know, I wasn't making any sense. The doctor said she came in and talked to me afterwards, and she was kind of explaining everything. And I asked, I was like, so how was I? And I had my
was it good for you as it was for me?
I had my contacts out, so I had my glasses. I wore my glasses. They took my glasses off, so I couldn't see the screen. The screen it's a nice 30-inch screen they got in front of you.
Yeah.
And she was like, "You kept on trying to tell us to bring the screen closer so you could actually see what was going on." She's like, you kept on saying something about you wanted to see what kind of butthole you had. I was like, oh, God. And then you passed out for a little bit, and then you're like, what I wanted to do is I wanted to mic myself up. I actually took the remote mics. And Des was like, I don't think you should do that. She's like, I don't know if the doctor's going to want you to do that. I actually had him, and I was like, this would be funny.
Dude.
This would be hysterical. Then I could play it as part of this conversation.
I will go get a colon hydrotherapy again, dude, and mic myself up.
Looking back at it, I kind of wish I would have done it. So it would have been funny. So you get done. It was weird because I thought I remembered everything after I got out of it. I actually thought I did. Des was like, I remember walking out to some degree, or getting dressed and everything else, and I thought I remembered everything from the moment I woke up to the moment we went and got food. And then Des started talking to me about this was a couple days ago. She started talking to me about a couple things, and she was like, do you remember almost falling over with your hands in your pockets, and the guy kept on telling you to take your hands out of your pockets because you're unbalanced? I was like, I think so. And then I started thinking about it. She's like, do you remember what you did in the waiting room as you left? And I was like, oh, no. She's like, you walked out, and the waiting room probably had 15 to 17 people, and you yell at the top of your lungs, fucking right, doggy. That's good cake.
You were so high. Dude, I want to see you high now, bro. I'm going to go get you some gummies, bro.
And she's like, you insisted on high-fiving all the staff as you walked out. You walked up to a guy who was 100-year-old guy in his wheelchair.
Nice.
You gave him a fucking knuckles.
Fist bump.
Fist bump. And you're like, go get it, buddy. Go get it. not knowing exactly what the hell was going on. Just go get it. Give him a fist bump. You got this. You're a champion.
You probably gotten 50 of these bitches already.
walk on out. Yeah, and then from that point, I don't remember really walking in the car either, I guess, or whatever.
When do you first remember, dude? Like, when do you first, legitimately?
So I started thinking about it. Because, again, I thought I remembered everything.
You don't remember shit, yeah.
And then Des started telling me all that stuff. I'm like, fuck, I don't remember that. So then the first thing I remember was us having a conversation about what to go eat. And I was like, I just need a burger. Just give me a fucking greasy ass fucking burger.
Yeah, eating in fucking 48 hours.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't care. I was at that point. I was high. I was hangry. Yeah. I was just like, I need to eat. I remember saying, let's just get to Carlsbad and let's go get a burger, and that's it. And then after I got something in my system, or actually after I sat down at the restaurant and we got there, I actually remembered everything from that point. So it was like it took 15, 20 minutes for that all the shit to wear off by the time I got something to eat.
I don't remember shit, bro. And at all three of my colonoscopies, they asked me that question if I wanted to be in Twilight or not. I'm like, I'm good. Like, first of all, I got 100 questions, but I'm going to ask a few. All right, what's your doctor's name?
Dr. Lee. She was Asian.
Oh,
See? Going back to the Asian thing. Yeah, Dr. Lee.
Dr. Lee. Female.
Yes.
All right. You had it better, dude. Like, my first colonoscopy is a guy. Right?
What's that matter, though? All you're doing is shoving a camera up there.
Well, no.
Maybe. Was he a little rough around the edges on you?
Maybe. But his last name, his first name was Gregory, and his last name was Butts.
Oh, so he was in the right profession.
He was in the right profession from drum. I even asked him, bro. I said, "You're joking, right? You changed your name to do this profession?" He's like, "No, that's my legal name." You can Google Gregory Butts, bro. That, kid you not, he will come up. And so he did my first and my second one, dude.
Oh.
And so apparently and he asked me, he's like, "Hey, do you want to be awake or asleep?" I said, "I want nothing to do with this experience, bro. Put me out."
Put me out.
like fucking, they said they gave me some medication, and next thing you know, I'm out. I fucking came to. They put me in the waiting room. They made me come back, or after I come to, they're like, "Are you able to walk?" I'm like, "Yeah," but I had to get they had to blow up my intestine, so I was super gassy afterwards, bro. Were you gassy at all afterwards?
No,
dude.
Yeah, I was. I was actually. That was kind of the thing you told me about too. Is like how gassy you were afterwards. Dude, I wasn't gassy whatsoever.
I guess what they did with me was because I had the pull-ups and the history of diverticulitis and all these things. He was saying that they had to expand my colon. So they could see.
Yeah.
Right? Versus just going in and doing a colonoscopy.
Open that shit.
Yeah, they just fucking ran. Yeah, baby. They fucking, like an OBGYN, stick these fucking things in there and went, whoop.
Yep.
Yeah, baby. No.
That's why you walk so.
Oh, this is why I walk crooked, bro. And so when I got out, they were like, "Do you need to go to the bathroom?" I said, "Yeah, I fucking need to go to the bathroom." And so I was like, "There's nothing in me. There's absolutely nothing in me. I hadn't eaten 48 hours. You don't eat. I was pooping bile, dude. Like, it was not good." And then I went back to the bathroom and I was just farting, dude. It was just horrible. It was just so bloated. And then the second time or the third time, I didn't have that experience.
Yeah.
They think they just go in and just check things out. But dude, it is a pain in the ass for the prep. During, you won't even recognize and remember. And, unless you want to be awake and make eye contact with your doctor while you're high as fuck, dude, like, it's fucking pointless unless you're looking for a good time.
I wouldn't want to not have anything, I guess, or...
Oh, fuck. Dude, I don't think they would, bro.
No, I don't think they would either. I tried my damnedest to stay awake with it and make communication, but apparently
Oh, yeah, you were, yeah.
Yeah, I was just in and out.
I want to see my butthole.
Yeah. Let me see it.
Let me see it.
So, because you've had your colonoscopies and you're doing the hydrotherapy stuff, explain the difference in that, because I don't even really know what this is.
All right, so colon hydrotherapy is a lot different than a colonoscopy. A colonoscopy, like, I have a history of bowel issues, and cancer, diabetes runs in my family, but cancer does not. I'm breaking all the molds in my family from a male perspective.
Okay.
Right? There's not very many men in my family who live past 50, dude. Like, I have an uncle who just died, and he was like sick as hell in his 50s.
Okay.
And so I'm breaking that mold. So I don't have a whole lot of history from a male perspective, medical history of, like, are your parents, do you have, like, usually you have a history, what, my dad had my great grandma had, enlarged prostate or prostate cancer. Like, I don't have any of that history, dude.
Okay.
So when I was obese, I had to get all this because I had pain. I was always, like, my bowel movements were painful, dude. And so they said, "Oh yeah, you got diverticulitis," and then I had colitis, and then so I'm susceptible to those things. Instead of every 10 years now, I have to go every 5 years.
Wow.
And so I'll go in every 5 years since I was 30 or 40 years old. So 38 years old was my first one. I had another one when I was 45. Another one when I was 40 or something like that. But so yeah, and so those are night and day. Like, the prep work is very violent, like you just described. Yeah. It's extremely violent.
Yeah.
Prep work for colon hydrotherapy is not violent. You literally, the procedure sucks.
So yeah, again, I don't. What are they just shoving a tube up there again? And
just like
water
anything else.
through?
That's it, dude. So Yvonne with Seaside colon hydrotherapy was very gentle. This is the first time I have ever done anything like this before.
She was very gentle.
She's very gentle.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. June, you have a very gentle wife, bro.
Okay.
But so colon hydrotherapy is water being flushed in versus you drinking a solution and violently, blowing everything out of your backside.
Yeah.
Right. And so colon hydrotherapy, you actually see your poop coming out. Yeah. So let me explain.
Okay.
So you go in and she's like, okay, the right therapist will come in and explain and walk you through the process.
Right.
And you do all the forms and all that shit, dude. And so I go in, and she's like, okay, it's going to go. There's a tube. It's, probably like dime size in width that goes up your rectum, dude. It only goes up about 2 to 3 inches.
Fair enough.
Shout out to my homie Nick, my best friend Nick. He always joke about that. And so it goes into your rectum for 2 to 3 inches. She lubes it up, and it goes right up in there. And it's one tube, dude.
You're not asking for raw dog?
No.
That's not what.
At least a spit, dude. At least a spit, bro.
Fair enough.
Puts it in there, and so she has you on your side. You get into a medical gown, and you're doing this thing, and you're wide awake. I will say at Seaside, the view is fucking phenomenal. When you turn over to the side, you're fucking looking at the water.
They
bro.
do that on purpose.
Oh, I think so. Totally,
a
total distraction. You go at twilight or sunlight, dude. It's fucking awesome, bro. Yeah. You're sitting there, you're like,
So do they put you on your side?
Yep.
And
they just
is like the tube coming down from the ceiling?
No. It's hooked up to a machine that's off to the side of your thing.
Yeah.
So the tube goes in, and so I have to describe the tube to you. So the thing is like yay big, right? And it goes like 3 inches into your rectum. That tube has a receptor where all the poop comes out, and it has a hose going in where all the hose goes in. When they start flowing water into your rectum, it literally feels like you got to poop. And it's like a gradual. It's not like, like crap.
So are they sitting there watching the poop come out with you?
Well, let me get there.
Okay.
You're jumping the gun.
I'm excited.
You're jumping the gun, right? So
poop conversations are my favorite.
Okay,
so this would be my nightmare to watch poop come out of me.
Oh no, dude.
Anyway.
No, you're not. So you get the tube in there. She gets you in, and she's describing the pressure. So the water flow provides a pressure. So it's pressurized water.
Got it.
And it goes up from like 0 to like 10 PSI, dude.
Okay.
Into your rectum. I have to tell you, when you're done, you're on your side and you're doing this, you have to lay back onto your back with the tube in your butt.
Oh, okay.
Good times, bro.
Okay.
And I was a little leery about this. I said, is this going to make it worse? And she's like, no, everything's fine. And I was like, and it didn't feel any different. Okay. She puts a weight on the hose. So there's that hose that's completely see-through. Picture you ever seen a sleep app hose?
Yeah.
It's riveted and it comes out like it's that.
Rib for your pleasure.
Yes, for my pleasure.
Yeah, okay.
Right? But it's completely see-through, and then it goes in, the hose is connected into the receptor where they capture all the poop.
Okay.
And in the receptor, it's a box with a glass window and a clear glass tube where you see your poop. Why do they do that? To see the consistency of your poop. And so you're laying there on your back. The whole procedure lasts about an hour. Okay. Give or take, between you peeing and doing whatever you got to do beforehand.
Okay.
And then you coming in, they hook you up, you lay on your back, the water's flowing, and she starts flowing. So you get 3 flows, right? The first one is like she builds up pressure from 0 to 5. And it's like a 40-second it's like a 3-minute or 4-minute flow, gradually putting in 3 to 5 PSI. And then she's like, okay, I need you to tell me from 1 to 10, like your urgency to go poop, or 1 to 5, or 0 to 5. And so right when you say, okay, it's a gradual thing. It's not like, fuck, I got to go, right? It's like, you got something in your butt so you feel it, but then you start feeling a little gurgling happening, oh man. And all of a sudden, it's like 1, 2. She's constantly asking, how you feeling? Like, I got a 1, and then you're like, I got a 2, and then it goes from 2 to 5 real quick, dude. Okay. And then you're like 5, and then when you say I have 5, that means basically she's filled all my lower intestine with freaking fluids. So that's the mind-body connection going, I gotta go poop, I gotta let this go. And so she stops the water, and she allows is a valve on the little riveted hose. She opens it up, and the water and the poop just starts flowing out. When you're looking at your poop, she's telling you like what's healthy, what's not, like the consistency of it. It should be like logs. First time I went in there, dude, I had whole leaves of spinach coming out of my butt, bro. I had chewed this food, like I had whole pieces.
You didn't really chew it. It just got swallowed.
Dude, I didn't chew it. My body did not digest it or break it down. It was a legitimate leaf. She goes, "Is that spinach?" And I was like, "Yeah, I had spinach for dinner, a day and a half ago." And she's like, "You need to chew your food.
Yeah.
Your body's not." She goes, "That explains why you're probably low in energy, because you are not digesting or absorbing the nutrient in your food." And so from that point on, I was like, shit, I got to go 2 other ones, because she highly recommends you do 3 within like a week or so. That was the first one. And then, anyways, I get done. So the third flow, she stops the water. She pulls the thing out. This is still the first session. Okay. She pulls the thing out of she'll roll over your side, pulls the thing out of your backside, and she goes, "You're going to go finish on the toilet." And the bathroom's like 2 feet away from the table. Okay. So you go into the bathroom and you just prep time. Right. Same flow.
Yeah. Yeah, all that water
that water that just came out. Ironically, dude, I excreted, is that the right word? I excreted more on the toilet than I did during the session. Like whatever she did, like jarred it, something loose. Yeah. And I was like, she goes, "How'd you do?" She goes, "A lot came out." She goes, "Good." And then she goes, "Come back next week and we'll do it again." So I was like, I don't know. So I had posted something that she was very gentle. She was very informative. She was very, if you have any kind of bowel issues or a history of like cancer or IBS or stuff like that, I fucking highly recommend it, dude, because I definitely had something wrong in my intestines, because she came back and I was like, and she's like, hopefully by the second or third session, you'll start pooping solid. Well, the first session, it was just, I felt weak, dude. I felt tired. Like I was supposed to work out that day, and I was like, I am not working out. I felt exhausted. And she's like, "Yeah, that's a common thing, because we just like stirred things up and we probably got rid of some toxins that were in your intestines." And she goes, "Usually some people feel energetic, but it's 50-50. Yeah. And I was like, I felt exhausted. Like if I had just ran 10 miles, dude. And I was like, Jesus Christ. I go back the next time. And she's like, "How you feeling? Are you pooping solid?" No, she recommended some things that I talked to my doctor about, which was like a probiotic or help with digestive. And I did. I talked to my doctor, and he's like, "Yeah, there's nothing wrong. You'll be totally fine." And I started doing that. And she gave me some other recommendations, like stay away from broccoli and some other like asparagus that are gassy. Try to stay away from red meat. I didn't listen to her on that one, because 50% of my diet is red meat. And so it was fine. I go back the following week, and I kind of knew the drill already. And she comes in, she's like, "All right," on the side. She starts talking about how are your poops, and we start describing the poops. And the second time, dude, the first 2 flows, so on the first time they go in, you definitely see like colored water and poop coming out of you. And then they float again, you see more of it. And then eventually it just ends up getting clearer and clearer, the hose that is. And so, and then I went to the bathroom and I let go a lot of poop. And then the second time, it was clear. Like nothing, not the first time. She's like, I did have a bowel movement beforehand. And she was like, there should still be something coming out. But there was nothing coming out, dude. It was clear. I don't know. Like I hadn't eaten anything.
Yeah, congratulations. You're not full of shit anymore.
Yeah, congratulations, right? And then, but I was really gassy. She kept on telling me it's fine. She did the 3 flows or 4 flows. I went to the bathroom and I did let some stuff out. But during the process, very little came out. And I was like, at that point, dude, I was like, this is bullshit. I'm like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do the third one. Right. That's what I thought. Yeah. And I was like, it was the aftermath that made me go back for the third. It was like, I got through, I got rid of some gas. I felt energetic after the second session.
Got it.
Like I felt like a boost of energy. Whether that was a placebo, whether that was just me saying I'm clean inside, whatever that is, I just felt more energetic.
Yeah.
And the thing that made me go back was the consistency of my poop changed. The ease of my poop changed. I was in and out of the bathroom pooping for like 2-3 minutes, I'm out. Versus I would be like Brother Cy over there, if I can take my phone in and 20 minutes later, I'm still in the bathroom, right? Yeah. And this was like easy. Apparently,
I guess it worked.
Unless there's something. I guess it worked, right? And then so I went back for the third one right before we left to Mexico, and I was sold. Yeah. Like I would probably do this 3 thing like once a year. I went back, and ever since then, dude, my poops have been very consistent. I've been on that probiotic that's helping me, a digestive enzyme that she gave me, that she recommended. My poops have been very easy, not unless I eat like an asshole. And I feel like I'm definitely more energetic, dude.
People get disgusted by poop conversations, right? Whatever. I'm one that doesn't like to really talk about it, but it's kind of funny. Like, how often do you actually get off the toilet and you look down at the toilet and you're like, yep, did that.
Pat yourself on the back.
Pat yourself on the back. Like,
dude.
It's because that's the thing. And come on, people, you do it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Everybody does. Everybody looks at it and they're like, ooh.
Like, what the fuck did I eat?
What the hell did I eat? Damn, that was a huge one. Damn. Don't say you don't do it. Yeah, I know you've done it.
It's a healthy thing to do, dude.
It's a healthy thing to do. So
it's a healthy thing to do, bro.
So
you gotta look at your shit.
As you look at your poop now, after you get off the toilet, is it like, are you satisfied with the way your shit is right now?
My shit, I wouldn't say my shit don't stink. But no, I definitely will say that the process of pooping is less painful for me ever since I've done this. I highly recommend it if you have any bowel issues. I definitely freaking recommend men go get a colonoscopy. The worst part is the prep. The rest you will not remember.
The worst part is the prep. Yeah. When it's all said and done, like, you don't remember what's going on. No. It's like I was actually kind of shocked that they told me, like, okay, by the time you get back and get on the bed and undressed and you're done, it's a 30-minute window.
Yeah.
Like, you're in and out. So before I got all the good stuff to make me go Twilight, I asked him, I'm like, how many of these do you do in a given day?
That was a good question.
And at this point in time, they were a little slow. They were only doing they only had 6 or 7 scheduled for the day. But they had said on a regular busy day between all of the doctors and all of the staff that does it, they do upwards of 25 or 30
a day.
A day.
I wonder how much they cost to do it. Now I'm doing. I'm my business analytical mind is working.
So I thought that was quite interesting that they're, and again, because they're only taking 20 to 30, and the doctor's only with you, or the staff is only with you for 15 minutes of that.
Yeah.
And they were cranking it out. Then when I went in there, they were like, "Oh yeah, she's just finishing up another one. She'll be out in just a second." I'm like, "All right, well, fuck, man, this thing is just like a."
Yeah, but the doctors are not dealing with poop; they're just looking at your intestines.
Oh, they're just looking at it.
Versus the colon hydrotherapy.
I will say, I didn't get a chance to say this. I would say I was completely clean, which is great.
You gotta get it done, man. You gotta get it done, especially nowadays with as much shit that's in our food in the United States, dude. You don't know what's fucking happening in your intestines, man. And it's such an easy fucking thing to do, and you probably lose 10 pounds because you're full of shit, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you weigh yourself before and after?
So I lost 8 pounds.
You were definitely full of shit.
Yeah, I lost a total of 8 pounds when it was all said and done.
Wow! Just from the fasting
from the time I started fasting all the way through the appointment and next day. So I looked at it from a 48-hour window.
Wow!
It was 7.5 pounds or almost 8 pounds total.
Wow!
Yeah,
I did not weigh myself. I should have weighed myself when I went in there. But either way, dude, I think I'm glad we're having the conversation, dude. I am so glad we're having the conversation because...
it was fun. It's again, the prep's the worst. If you get past the prep, it's all good.
Yeah, the prep is the most violent part. And in the colon hydrotherapy, the prep is not an issue. The process is. Ooh.
I hope you guys got a little bit out of this.
Dude.
This is all meant for fun, but when it's all said and done, Omar and I are both on the same page. Like, if you haven't had a colonoscopy yet and you're in that zone and that age range of go get it done, go get it checked out.
It'll be over before you know it.
Exactly.
It's not like Bubba's going to be behind you the whole time.
Well, maybe.
No, if the doctor's named Bubba, don't go do it. Go do it.
Yep.
You got two fucking grown-ass men that are not afraid to talk about it, and hopefully we can normalize the conversation so that you guys can go do the thing that probably is going to save your life.
Keep it coming, another round. Oh, keep it coming, another round. You got me so far down, so far down.
This has been an international podcast transmission of No Fixed Agenda presented by Bubs Naturals. Music was provided by the Poor Dirty Astronauts with lyrics written by Matt Meyer. You can rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you find your favorite podcast episodes. NFA, over and out.